So I made a few changes to the indoor enclosure because it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so he's not going to get to go outside and play. And so I came in here, I scrubbed everything down, I wiped down all the bars, I scrubbed the floor, disinfected it, changed out the chair so it's blue. I put a magazine in there for in the morning when he comes in. I did make some changes here. I added some zip ties to his little swing here so it didn't have any gaps. And then I put some different stuffies in here for him and some different toys and washed all his other toys. Took out that other little table that was in here and just put the second one because I had two, because I had made another one when we moved here so that I would have the enclosure the exact same as it was at the other house. So I had an extra one, so I went ahead and put that in here. And washed all his toys up and moved the rope. Just kind of make a few changes in here for him. And so I'm kind of anxious to see his reaction to it. And if he reads his magazine when I bring him in the morning. Because when I bring him in at night from being outside, he comes in, I get him cleaned up and ready for bed, and he goes into a different enclosure that's in my bedroom, and then I take my shower, and then we lay in bed and play. I did add a double door entrance to this inside enclosure because I had said before in another video, he likes to dart out when I open the door, and that stresses me out because then I have to go find him or chase him. And when I get stressed out, then he gets stressed out. So, you know, and this is also allowing me to train him not to do that. And it's actually going really, really well. So anyway, so there's a double enclosure now. And once I get him trained to listen better and to sit when I say sit, then and not dart out when I open the door, then I can add on and just make this, you know, double the size that it is. But right now, with it being just him, it's okay to, it's okay for this size, you know, to be what it is right now. I'm hanging out with Petey in here. He started looking at the magazine, but he hasn't ripped it to shreds like he should, because that's what they do when they read, quote unquote, their magazines. I got one of his blankies on my lap here, and he's pulling it off. Now he's walking around with it on his head. He's such a silly boy. Where's Petey? Where's he at? There he is. There's the Petey man. He loves it when I come in here with him. I've always come in here with them several times a day when both of them were in here. And they just love it. I don't know if he thinks of it as like, oh, she's coming into my room with me for a while. He's walking around with that. He loves blankets. It's just crazy how much he loves blankets. I bought him a new one. That blue one up there is a new one that I bought him at the store yesterday. Little Petey. Yeah, it's raining out there. It's all cloudy and cold and rainy. Oh, now he's on my lap. He's on my lap. I'm trying to get the camera. And here in a little bit, I'll take him out and we're going to go share a snack together. Kind of like what I used to do with Kiara. Before I got Petey, I didn't take her out and have snacks with her as much. Well, now he's under the chair. There he is. After I got Petey, because, you know, they were together and they were playing, and I did still take them each out individually. He's looking at himself in the mirror. If you've never seen a monkey look at themselves in the mirror, it is just the cutest thing ever. They love to look at themselves. He likes my psychedelic socks that I wear. Yeah, he started to play biting. And we're working on that. It's getting much better. I see you up there, Petey. So, Petey, he started grooming me last night. Just a little bit on my arm, and just a very little bit on my head. But he's never done that before. And, it was very sweet. But of course I cried. Because I miss Kiara grooming me. Oh, she was a master groomer, I tell you what. And she groomed me all the time. I mean, anytime I came into the enclosure, brought her out, when we went to bed, she was always grooming me. So it was very special when he's looking in the mirror again. When he did that last night, it was a very special moment. I know what he's doing. He's trying to get he's trying to get it to make noises because he likes the little stuffed animals that make noises when he bangs his head on them. But that one doesn't make noise. That's actually one of the stuffed animals that when I rescued him last year, that came with him. There was only 3 stuffed animals that they sent with him. And after a while, I kind of put him away because he was having a really hard time adjusting. I mean, I let him have him for quite a while, and then as he started to adjust, I slowly just took him away and put him away. And I brought this one out yesterday when I cleaned the enclosure and was putting new stuff in here. I was like, you know what, he hasn't seen that one in a while, so I put it back in here, and I think he remembers it. And he's going to put that over his head again. Maybe not. He does somersaults. That's just crazy. He's also started grooming little stuffed animals, and he never did that before. Never. He had just recently started grooming Kiara, just very, very short periods, like maybe 5 seconds worth. And I think it might just be the age, because he's just now 1.5 years old, and I can't remember. I think Kiara started much, much younger, but maybe males are different. Maybe they don't groom as early on in life as the females do. So to see him starting doing this grooming with his stuffed animals and then with me is great. I'm really enjoying watching this because he's made a lot of changes in the last couple weeks. He's a good boy. We're still working through some issues, but he's a really good boy. He's been through a lot in his little life. Poor baby. Yeah, put all new toys in here. Well, they're not brand new. They're just toys that I switch out. But I hadn't switched out their toys since we moved here 3 months ago. And I thought it's time, because I try to do that like once a month or once every other month. Take out their toys, clean them really good, put different ones in here. And I hadn't done that, and I thought this is the perfect time to do it since I knew it was going to be raining and he was going to be in here all day. He won't be in the enclosure all day, but he doesn't get to go outside and play, so try to make it a little interesting for him. Some of the toys in here are new, because when I went to the store yesterday, I was like, I need to pick up a few new toys. So I bought some new toys and his new blankie and he heard something. I think he heard the dog. I think he heard Frankie moving around, huh? I think he has a crush on my daughter. He's been like really interested in her. Earlier this morning, she was in the kitchen and he was up there on one of those perches just watching her because he can see in the kitchen from up there. He was sitting up there eating his spinach, just watching her. It was so cute. And then when she comes out into the enclosure outside, he comes up and sits on her lap, and one time he just laid on his back and just kind of exposed his whole belly to her. It was just so cute. Yeah, for some reason, both him and Kiara both love my toes, and then when I wear socks. I don't know why that's so interesting to them, but it is. Getting him some sunflower seeds. He likes digging through that thing for sunflower seeds. Did you find you a seed? Eating his sunflower seed, looking at himself in the mirror. Actually, that might be a pumpkin seed. I'm not sure. I put pumpkin seeds in there and sunflower seeds. Who is that pretty boy? Who's that pretty boy in the mirror? Oh, that is pretty boy Petey. He's a good little monkey boy. that little mirror thing that he's looking at right now. That crazy little toy was $30. Insane. But it was one of the best purchases I ever made because they both just loved that one so much. It rolls and then it pivots. And Kiara used to pivot that thing around and look throughout the entire room through that mirror. The craziest thing. But he loves it too. But it's one of the best purchases I ever made. You just want the camera, don't you? Oh, I think he just messed with the zoom. Good boy. Oh, good boy. Oh, good little Petey boy.